I've listened to Messy by Olivia Dean for 3 months.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the record ranking podcast for people who'd rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me, singing along for this Valentine's Day special is Connor.
Ow!
Sorry, didn't mean to hurt you.
No, sorry. I don't know. What is that? Somebody just shot me with an arrow.
Somebody just shot you with an arrow?
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day? How notably unromantic.
Yeah.
Who could have done such a thing?
I think it was that baby over there in that stroller.
There's a baby shooting you with arrows on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I'm real suspicious of that baby. Nobody ever suspects the baby.
No. Perhaps think about this. Maybe it's not a baby. What if it's a cherub?
Is that a type of, plant?
No, it's not a type of plant. It's a type of baby angel, like Cupid is, for example.
Oh, so you mean like the cherry tree, the Cupid cherry tree?
The cherry tree? I think you're
Well,
misunderstanding.
You're saying Cupid's a type of cherub, right? And the cherub's a type of plant, so it must be like the Cupid cherry tree.
You lost me. No, Cupid like the angel that makes people fall in love. He shoots people with arrows too.
That's not a thing.
No, but if it was, it would be very weirdly similar to your situation.
Oh, yeah. So it'd almost be like somebody ripped off my story.
Yeah, it was yours first.
Of course.
Anyway, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, is it Valentine's Day? Wow, I had no idea.
Well, it roughly is. This episode is the last one that comes out before Valentine's Day. So I figured I'd pick an album with some cute little love songs here and some breakup songs. But notably some love songs too. Felt like a nice Valentine's Daisy album. And, I mean, the album cover is pretty pinkish purple. Valentine's Day colors.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Felt pretty good. I don't know. Do you have any fun Valentine's Day traditions?
Can't say that I do.
Well, that's life.
I would say my Valentine's Day tradition is the day after Valentine's Day.
Oh, sulk?
Dang, all right.
I'm just kidding.
No, of course you gotta go to the store and get all the discounted candy.
Yeah, if I were a store, though, I'd be on to you people. I'd mark it all up the day after Valentine's Day.
But they never are. But they're never... Well, I mean, it's always marked up, right? That's the key, right? It's marked up leading into Valentine's Day. So really the discount is just putting it back at the normal price of candy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
then all the people like us are like, haha, we're getting a good deal, but we're really just paying normal price.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up doing the same thing.
I like that for a while they had those cherry cordial snack cakes that they would do at Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. But this time around, they also did them at Christmas, and they were Christmas branded.
Oh, you did leave a few of those at my apartment when you came down around Christmas.
Yeah. And so then, Christmas ends in December, and in January is when all the marketing for Valentine's Day starts. So it's they never left the shelves. They just magically rebranded overnight from having Santa Claus on the box to being all Valentine's Day themed.
That's clever. It's cherry season.
Apparently, Christmas to Valentine's Day is cherry season.
What do you know? Maybe Cupid is onto something.
That's why he's got a whole tree.
Right. Well, we've got a whole album, and it's a whole album by...
Who are we talking about again?
That's a good question. This is an artist that was new to me in the year of discovery. This is kind of a thing that you're doing where you're bringing people you've discovered in the year of discovery. I discovered Olivia Dean in the year of discovery. I first discovered Olivia Dean when I was hanging out with a friend and they had a playlist on shuffle. One of her songs came up and I was hooked, captivated by it even. And I Shazammed it, right? I pulled out my phone and I had to know what it was. I was like, why haven't I heard of this artist?
What is Shazam?
It's that app that listens to the music around you and it goes, this is what you're listening to.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I did, and I found her and I was like, this has to go on the albums of the month list. And I've been hooked ever since. This is her only studio album, Messy is. So it's the only full-length record I've had, but every other month since then, I've tried to work in some of her EPs or a few singles from other things that she's done. Man, I have been really impressed. She's got a really cool, neo-soul style. It's really cool. I don't know, Ballad Guy. I think you're really going to like it.
Time will tell.
Time will tell, and you will tell in time. Deep. But I'm guessing Olivia Dean's an artist, like me, you were probably unfamiliar with before encountering some stuff from this record, right?
Correct.
I didn't figure you had your finger to the pulse of British pop music.
Yeah, I can't say that. I don't even have my ear to the pulse of American music, let alone whenever they're doing Across the Pond.
That's true. can't be bothered to learn what they're doing over there. You got to start at home.
If it's not Dua Lipa,
Who is from London?
might as well call me clueless.
Yeah, we could call you clueless. Don't worry about that.
Well, that's what I said. The only thing I'm paying attention to coming out of London, Dua Lipa.
Fair enough. Well, you should start paying attention, perhaps consider, to Olivia Dean. She was born on March 14th, 1999, like you said, in London, England. So I guess the British would say that she was born on the 14th of March because they do the date all backwards like that. Do you think that's a better way or a worse way to do dates? It's Valentine's Day. We got to talk about dates now.
Like the fruit?
We could talk about the fruit later. I just mean March 14th or 14 March, which makes more sense.
So, like, Americans say it the way, write it the way you would say it, right?
Depends. I think the British would say it the other way.
I don't know, right? Like, if I say, hey, what's the date? I feel like most people would say, oh, like, February 14th, right?
Yeah, Americans.
You think over in Britain, if I said, hey, what's the day? What day is it? They would go the 14th of February?
Yeah, probably. That's why they write it that way.
See, I don't know. Maybe. I'm not claiming to be an expert on the subject, but I just think they write it the way grammatically, historically, it should be written. And then Americans were like, nah, we're going to write it the way that makes sense to, like, say out loud. And so they changed it, is how I've always interpreted it in my head.
I guess. I like the American way because March gives me a season to picture and then I can narrow in on the date. Like it's like a funnel.
I would argue that the British way is more of a funnel. You go from like the smallest to the largest unit, right? It gradually gets bigger as you go through it.
Well, that's the reverse of a funnel. What?
Well, right, but it's funnel shaped, whether you're going one way or the other. It's funnel shaped.
But that's upside down.
Yours is
Mine's a real
going from
funnel.
big to small to big.
Well, theirs is a consistent scaling.
Yeah, yours goes big, small, bigs. Yours is like a
Like an hourglass.
yeah,
Which is good for measuring what? Time. See?
not dates.
Dates are just big time. Anyway, 1999 she was born. Her father was English, but her mother was a second-generation Jamaican Guyanese immigrant. More on that later in the album. Ooh, that's like a little tease. When Olivia was young, her father would play music and they would dance around the kitchen together. Cute dad-daughter thing to do. Her parents were especially fond of singer and rapper Lauryn Hill, so much so that she inspired Olivia Dean's middle name, Lauren, with a Y, like Lauryn Hill.
Wow.
Olivia grew up singing, of course, but also dealt with a lot of stage fright in her early days, like really severe stage fright. At a talent show one time, she got so nervous to sing Tomorrow from Annie that she just like turned around and started crying, like just petrified from fear. But eventually she did get over it and earned second place.
Mood.
It's a mood to turn around from fear and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have those moments. Some of us more than others. I was trying to think of an example, but I don't have one.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to turn around from my microphone there for a moment.
Oh no, did you cry?
What would make you say a thing like that?
Just curious. I'd still award you second place.
I'm not worth first place?
Well, I would award myself first place.
Well, that just feels rigged. It's like a bit of a fox in the henhouse sort of situation going on here.
No, it was perfectly fair competition. It's fine. As she started to face her stage fright, she started to take music lessons and to perform more, kind of exposure therapy. She joined a gospel choir when she was a teenager, and at 15, Olivia Dean started attending the Brit School for Performing Arts, which was like significant. It was a 3-hour round trip commute every single day. Yikes. That's almost what you had to do for work for a while, right?
Oh, yeah. I had an hour one way, so that's a 2-hour round trip.
So yeah, like add an extra half hour to your daily drive, and that's what she did for school. So the point is she's dedicated, super dedicated. She decided to study songwriting, and she wrote her first songs when she was about 16 years old. She was teaching herself to play both the piano and the guitar at the time. Upon graduation, Olivia found herself a manager, and she earned a gig singing background vocals for the band Rudimental when she was just 17. Her first show with them was for an audience of 16,000 people, a far cry from the talent show crowd that watched her cry to Annie.
Wow.
I know, 16,000. And she was actually featured on one of the Rudimental's 2019 singles called Adrenaline. She struck off on her own, doing a solo career as a singer-songwriter in 2019 with her debut EP called Okay Love You Bye, which also rocks, by the way. Such a good song, such a good EP. It earned millions of streams, and it got her signed to a recording contract with EMI. She went on a bit of a tear of EP releasing after that. Like I said, with Messy being her one and only studio album, she got a lot of EPs and singles out there in the early days. Her second EP, What Am I Gonna Do on Sundays, and her third EP called Olivia Dean, If You Know What I Mean, and her fourth EP, Growth. Those all came out from late 2020 to mid 2021. It was like 3 EPs in around 6 months. Can we just take a second also and admire an EP called Olivia Dean, If You Know What I Mean?
It's pretty awesome.
I know, it's great. You could release an EP like that and call it like, It's an Honor Being Connor or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, right?
Keep that in mind for the Connor Hibbin and Hoppin album.
Yeah, that'll be the EP leading up to it. Oh, man. Yeah, in that window, too, those 6 months between 2020 and 2021, her cover of Nat King Cole's Christmas song hit number 19 in the UK, and she earned a lot of major recognition. She was the BBC Music Introducing Artist of the Year and Amazon Music's Breakthrough Artist of the Year in 2023, and that's pretty much the run-up that led to the release of her first proper album, Messy. This one that we're talking about today, heck yeah. It came out on June 30th, 2023. Very quickly, it's headed towards its second anniversary in just a few months. And it's full of her really sincere brand of neo-soul. And for me, like I said, instant classic. As soon as I started listening to this album, pun very much intended, I was ready to dive right in. Olivia Dean claims a lot of inspirations and influences that you've certainly heard of, and probably know well as a ballad guy. I mean, we've done episodes on some of them, but she claims Amy Winehouse, Carole King, who we talked about, The Supremes, and Adele, who we also talked about. Like, if you like those artists, and I do, as you can see, you'll probably like Olivia Dean. To make Messy, she worked extensively with Matt Hales, professionally known as Aqualung, who has a few hit songs of his own. Matt Hales helped co-write a few songs on this. He programmed and played some piano and synths and guitars, and the record was mastered by Matt Colton, an engineer who has worked alongside artists like Coldplay and George Michael and Peter Gabriel and Depeche Mode. So, quite a resume. When it came out, Messy was pretty well received by critics. NME gave it 4 stars, The Guardian gave it 3. At the end of the day, its Metacritic score is a 77 out of 100, pretty strong for a debut. And it ended up charting on the album charts in 6 territories, including Belgium, the Netherlands, and France. It went to number 32 in Switzerland, number 10 in Scotland, and all the way up to number 4 in the UK, which is remarkable. So good. It was even shortlisted for the 2023 Mercury Prize, which I don't think we've talked about much yet on the podcast, but that's a prize that's awarded to the best album released by a musical act from the UK and Ireland.
I see.
Yeah, it's a pretty high honor. It was one of a dozen albums on that shortlist under consideration, and it was competing against acts like the Arctic Monkeys, Fred Again, Jessie Ware, and the eventual winners, Ezra Collective with Where I'm Meant to Be. So yeah, Messy's a big hit. What more is there to say? Other than that, she's put out another EP, a few covers. Most recently, she released a new single called Touching Toes that came out in mid-November of 2024. She also took on her first headlining tour and performed at Glastonbury in 2024. Olivia Dean has been nominated for 3 Brit Awards, including Best New Artist, British Artist of the Year, and Best Pop Act. And I couldn't spoil the Mixtaper's fun too badly, so I didn't look too deeply into other trivia tidbits and other things, but I did discover that Olivia Dean is a brand ambassador for Chanel, which is really cool. I also learned that she's put out a dozen music videos over the last 6 years for all of her singles. Her video for Password Change, another great song. I'm going to say that about all of them. Another great song. It was nominated for a UK Music Video Award. So, another great music video. How about that? But with that, I do believe it is time for the Mixtaper to come on out and play some Factor Spin, some Valentine's Factor Spin, in fact. And we're going to learn 4 new things about Olivia Dean, if you know what I mean.
Hey, it's me, the Mixtaper.
Hello, Mixtaper. Happy Valentine's Day. How are you?
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm pretty good. Just been celebrating this wonderful day with the Mixtaper.
Oh, the Mixtaper. Yeah, that must have worked out well then. I think the last time we mentioned her, you were just going on a date with her?
Yeah, we've decided to go steady, as the kids say.
The kids said.
No, they say it.
It's back in. Gen Z's bringing back going steady.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, for a while we were just mixing, but then we decided to go steady.
Just mixing. I'm picturing, yeah, you know, if things go really well, after the wedding one day, you drive away in a limo, this is just mixed.
Then she becomes the Mrs. Taper.
Not as catchy as Mixtaper and Miss Taper, but we can work with it. Did she help you come up with good Olivia Dean spins this week?
Well, we'll find out how this week goes, whether or not they were good or not. But yeah, she helped.
I see. I tried to trick you. Usually I ask if you found good facts. This week I said, did you make up good spins? I wanted to see if you'd reveal anything, and I don't think you did.
Do I ever?
Sometimes.
Even if I had revealed something, would you have been like, did he reveal that because he wanted me to think that? Like would you have really fallen for it?
Get out of my head. You're probably right.
All right, up first, Olivia Dean was discovered in an interesting way.
Discovered like as an artist or discovered in a game of hide and seek?
As an artist, before she really made it big, she popped up on the internet.
Oh, the internet. Classic origin story for aspiring artists. What corner of the internet did she pop up on?
She popped up in a viral busking video.
Busking? Oh, sick. Playing on the street corners for money, like with the guitar case open?
Correct.
That is what busking is. Was she the one busking, or was she otherwise in the video in some other capacity?
No, she was the one busking.
Interesting. Where and what did she sing? What made the video go viral?
I don't know. I actually haven't seen the video.
Oh, glad you've done your homework.
Yeah, you're welcome. She was on the corner and don't know what she was singing.
You don't know what corner, and you don't know what she was singing.
Sure don't.
Oh, okay. How many people saw this viral video? You don't know why it went viral? It's just good?
Well, it went viral, so it just went viral. She talked about this video in an interview and said that she had started busking as a method to get over her stage fright.
Oh, see, there's no stage when you busk. You're just on a corner, and nobody's got corner fright.
I got busk fright.
I'm buskophobic.
Very similar to bus fright. There's a little bit of an overlap with people who have bus fright.
Yeah, smidge.
Neither one likes standing on corners.
But you don't know much about this video. What platform was it on?
I assume YouTube. Probably all the video. I mean, most videos pop up everywhere.
That's true. Okay, I think I'm going to say this one is a spin.
It's not enough detail?
There's not a lot of detail here. It's a little suspicious. I don't know. Viral video.
Not a lot to find.
It just seems like too convenient of an origin story.
Oh, okay. Sorry that she wasn't less convenient for you.
Well, just for you to talk about in a spin, you know? It's kind of served up on a silver platter. I just don't know if it's true. Do I think a video of Olivia Dean would be Olivia seen by so many people?
I know, but I need you to lock in an answer.
Oh, I'm definitely locking in a spin.
This is a spin.
A spin. That's exactly what I Olivia mean.
I was afraid to provide too many details and get myself in a trap.
A trap? Like I would know what this viral video that didn't exist had in it?
You know, it's just that, like, I would somehow slip up in a way that would give away that I was making this video up.
Oh.
And it'd been a while since I gave you something that didn't have a lot of detail, and I thought if I started with that, you might not have your defenses up and ready.
My wits about me.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. That's a good assumption and an interesting play. I bet if she busked now, the video would go viral. Just imagine.
Probably. Moving on.
Moving on, that's the best direction to be moving. As Olivia Dean would say, we're getting there.
Olivia Dean once performed on a floating stage.
Ooh. A floating stage like a boat? Like a barge stage?
Yeah, I would say barge is it's just a stage that's been like
put in the water.
Yeah, it's been put in the water and anchored down, so it can't float away, but it's floating.
Of course. Now, where does this happen?
During the Floating Points Festival in London.
What is Floating Points?
It's a festival.
Yeah, what does it celebrate? What floats? What are points?
I don't know what it celebrates. I mean, it just is a festival that they have where they set up a stage in the middle of a canal, and then everybody brings out their paddle boats and sits along the bank, and there's just a lot of music and, vendors set up along the river bank, canal bank. I don't know.
Canal bank? Sure.
That doesn't sound right, but sure.
So how big is this festival then? How many people does it draw in?
Boy, I guess I should have done more research about the festival. I have plenty of details about her performance.
Well, we could get into that too. So was she headlining this festival?
Was not headlining it. No, I think she was just one of the performers.
Just lining it.
Yeah.
Different.
She performed a mix of original songs like The Hardest Part and a few acoustic covers.
Love it.
And she said that there was a bit of a learning curve to staying balanced while moving around on the stage, and that actually she felt the water did something weird to the sound quality for the acoustics numbers.
Really? I mean, was the river or canal, was it rough? I don't think of canals as having much like current or like waves, not a lot of wake.
No, but I think anytime you're on something that is just like floating in the water, right? I mean, it
That's
doesn't
true.
take much to upset its center of gravity, right?
Like a boat dock.
Put a bunch of speakers and instruments and who knows what else on a stage, and it gets a little weird.
Yeah, and you did make it sound like it's not anchored to the shore, but out in the middle of the water a little bit.
I mean, I don't know how they anchor it.
Well,
I don't want any civil engineers in the audience calling me out for being like, you idiot. Of course they would have anchored it to the shore.
they never anchor a stage like that. Well, what's going to happen is that I'm going to get it wrong for an obvious reason like that, and they're going to come at me.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah, fair enough. There are music festivals in Nashville that use a floating stage, a barge on the river, and it's anchored kind of to the shore. It really doesn't look like it moves a whole lot, but could be different with a smaller stage, a lighter stage, a stage farther out into open water. There's a lot of variables there. I like it.
He likes it.
I think it's probably true that she's played on a floating stage. I think part of me wants to doubt it, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh.
So I'm going to say that this one is a fact, and I will float you this point if you lied to me and this is a spin. Thank you.
This is a spin.
I knew it. I knew it.
Floating Points is the professional name of British electronic music producer, DJ, and musician Samuel Shepherd.
Well, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red flag should have gone up when you didn't have more specifics about the festival.
Yeah. But I had a lot of specifics about her performance.
You did.
And I dazzled you with them.
You did. I don't know.
So it just goes to show not enough detail, too much detail. Both can be spins.
You're right.
But let's spin our way on over to our third fact, which is that Olivia Dean hosted a songwriters picnic in a London park.
Picnics are lovely. Sounds great. What London park?
Hyde Park.
One of the most obvious and suspicious London parks.
Is it?
Yeah, it's named after that guy that's half monster and half doctor.
I see.
Songwriters Picnic. How big is this? Is she just hosting friends that she knows, a few songwriter friends? Is this like an open invite to London songwriters? What's the scope?
You had to buy a ticket to it to be a part of it.
Okay.
You had to pay to be there.
So like a fundraiser event then?
I don't really know what the money was for. I just know it wasn't just anybody can show up sort of thing.
Sure.
Attendees brought their own instruments. There was all sorts of just impromptu jam sessions and collaborative songwriting going on in the park, right? People broke out into different focus groups with people they met. Olivia was around sharing tips about her writing process and apparently even helped one fan finish a song they'd been struggling with. The event also included a small performance where she performed a few of her hits acoustically for the group.
Nice. That sounds like a great event. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. But is it true? Does it sound like a true event?
Man, it does sound like a true event. And that means it's a really, really good made-up lie. I think I'm going to call this one a spin, too.
Thinks it's a spin. Now, is this because I gave too much detail or not enough?
I think you gave just the right amount of detail on this one.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
This is a Goldilocks amount of detail.
I hate us.
Yeah, great minds. You know what they say about great minds? We've got them.
Exactly. So you're going with spin, locking in spin?
Yeah, I think I will do that. As much as I wish it was a real event.
This is a true fact.
Well, you said that, but you said it like a question mark at the end of it.
Yeah, I found a source that says it's a true fact. That's where I got all the information from. But I couldn't find my corroborating.
Corroborating?
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Couldn't find my corroborating source to back it up.
Okay, so you found one source, not multiple, about a songwriters picnic hosted by Olivia Dean.
Yeah, correct. So that was enough to have me bring it, but I did want to put the question mark on it just in case I've been burned.
So we don't credence ourselves again.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt, but if you have evidence or have been to Olivia Dean's songwriter picnic,
Dude, if you've been, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you.
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I'll take the loss on that point too, I guess. That's unfortunate. I thought I'd be sitting a little prettier in this Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, time for a deciding fact. Either 50-50 or a mixtaper win.
Or a loss. Unfortunately, it's not a deciding fact in any way that benefits me. I tie or I lose.
Is it? It usually isn't.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, let's just say Olivia Dean has a bit of a red thumb.
A red thumb. Well, I mean, the green thumb is where you can plant things and they grow really well.
Yeah.
And a brown thumb is where you plant things and they die, right? Or a black thumb. However that works. There's a color that signifies that you have the opposite of that. A hitchhiker's thumb is one that bends far. What? A red thumb? Don't tell me she plants cherry trees.
No.
Was it just make plants sick?
Jeez.
Not kill them all the way. Just, they don't thrive.
A red thumb is a term I've made up for someone who likes to garden and wishes they had a green thumb, but is really bad at it.
Oh, so your red thumb is sore from like digging and thorns and...
In the sense that they constantly injure themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. It's red because they have a green thumb, but it's covered in blood.
It's irritated.
Yeah.
Likes to garden, bad at gardening.
Uh-huh.
I have heard rumors that she could be a florist.
What?
Get it? Because, like, the song on the album is called I Could Be a Florist.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, didn't even think of that.
Really? Because it makes me suspicious right away.
Yeah, I now realize it's gonna make you suspicious, which is awesome. It's hilarious, but I will be 100% honest, true or false. Did not even think of that.
I also do believe that pretty fully. I think that makes sense to me. I can operate on that assumption. What kind of plants does she like? Like flower plants, or is she a gardener, like fruits and veggies?
No, she's really not that. She's not a big flowery person. She says they're a lot of work.
Oh, definitely.
For not a lot of gain. She's more of a evergreen bush kind of person. Likes a lot of bushes that will bloom like once a season, but then stay green the rest of the time. So you get that year-round effect without for about the same amount of work.
Right, like a perennial kind of thing, like a magnolia tree is, where it's green all the time, but sometimes it flowers.
Sure, sounds like have more of a red thumb than I do. I have a purple thumb. Because I always have my gloves on, so my thumbs are purple.
Right, okay. Got it, Mixtaper. That makes sense. No, I have the kind of thumb that when I went to go buy a small succulent from the plant store, I was relieved to hear the cashier tell me that the plant I had chosen was often characterized as resilient. I said, good, he's going to need it. And sure enough,
Is he still alive?
Barely.
Oh, no. It wasn't resilient enough, I guess.
No. I've heard succulents are hard, though, because they don't show when they're thirsty or when they have needs. Ooh, it's tough. This is a tough call. I think I'm going to say that this is a fact.
Going with fact.
Yeah, well, we've got one maybe fact so far, but 2 spins. I think she would like to garden. I feel like that's a cool hobby. I mean, she clearly, obviously does sing a song about being a florist, and I'm like practically not taking that into account at all, because I know you didn't clock that, probably, unless you did.
I really didn't.
Okay, well, if I say fact and then you're like, it was about the song, it was a spin,
You're gonna be real annoyed.
That's gonna be like kind of annoying, but whatever. I think I'll lock in fact. I mean, gardening is hard. Take it from someone who's bad at gardening.
This is a true spin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, that means it's just a spin.
Yeah, it's just a spin.
Well, crud.
Which is great for me, not so great for you.
Yeah, that is a bit of a bummer. What made you think of it, if I may ask?
Well, it's Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
A day known for flowers.
It is, you're right. It is a day known for flowers.
But I knew flowers would be too obvious. So I was like, what else? And so I just Googled Valentine's Day plant, and I found something called the Valentine bush.
Oh.
And so if you had asked what her favorite type of bush was, I was going to give you the name Aremophila maculata, which is its scientific name for the Valentine bush.
Yeah.
It's a colorful, low-maintenance shrub that blooms in winter and early spring. It's green, and it blooms red.
Cute.
And then I was also taking in another one I found, the Valentine bleeding heart plant.
Now that one sounds bad. That sounds like it got shot by Cupid a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty. Comes in like pink and red.
You know, I wish I had considered that it was Valentine's Day and flowers were so Valentine-y.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I took you off of flowers right away. You know, I said, no, she doesn't like flowers. They're too much work, right? I got you off of flowers.
You went to bushes. Smart.
So there it is. That's the bleeding, the Valentine's bleeding flower in pink and red. And then...
Oh, it does look like a bleeding heart.
And then this is the bush.
Wow. Looks like a bush that grows in very arid environments.
Yeah.
Not Britain.
Yeah, it is... It's a perfect choice for the desert Southwest, it says.
Yeah, not the rainy Isle of England.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So I had to sneak something Valentine's Day into Factors Fan. I mean,
Of course. Oh, these are all a little bit Valentine's Day. Viral videos, proposal videos go viral sometimes. She performed on a floating stage. Sometimes people who are in love describe themselves as like walking on clouds or floating. She hosted a songwriters picnic. Come on, picnics are so Valentine.
I mean, couples go on. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All the time.
Right.
So these were like 4 Valentine facts, really.
Hey, well, you said it, not me.
Well, I may have exaggerated a little bit, but, it's fine. It's a themed episode.
Love a good theme.
Yeah. Well, do you have any nice Valentine plans for the Mixtaper?
Yeah. I'd take her up for a romantic blimp ride.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
See, more floating. I'm telling you.
Next week's Factors Fan a little preview. It's a themed week, too.
A themed week next week?
Uh-huh. It's Chris themed.
Chris themed? Oh, no. Of course it is. I had to look at who we were doing next, and Chris themed makes sense.
Yep.
Well, we'll see about all that. Until then, you enjoy your Valentine's Day Mixtaper.
Will do. And, try not to feel too lonely.
Well, I won't.
All by yourself.
I'm not by myself. I've got Connor to keep me company.
I'll be honest, I thought you'd rather be alone.
Oh, then hang out with Connor?
Yeah.
Between you and me, I'm going to lock in fact.
Good thing he definitely isn't listening right now. It really hurt his feelings. Yeah!
Oh, there goes the Mixtaper. Hey, welcome back to Connor. Welcome back to Connor.
Craig, would you please inform James I'm no longer speaking to him?
Oh, so you were listening to that. You heard that?
Craig, please inform James that I'm always listening and that, this has been the subject of many episodes where he says welcome back and I always have to tell him I never actually left and was there the whole time. But he always seems to forget that.
Well, think about this. I locked in fact, but I only got one right this week. So I bet I was wrong and it was a spin. And I do want to hang out with you.
Oh, okay. I'll accept that.
Yeah. See, I knew if I locked in spin, I would probably be wrong and it would have been a fact. So I just wanted to play to the odds.
That's smart.
Also, before we get into the album art and the rest of it, side note that I should have realized earlier, but I guess I took my notes for the episode too soon. Olivia Dean recently released a live album.
Whoa.
On like December 20th, 2024, the same day that Fish in a Birdcage did Mentors. Olivia Dean put out a live album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at Eventim Apollo.
Popular day for releasing albums.
I know, it's got 16 tracks. I can't wait to go listen to it, but I will have to wait because the day is young and episodes need episoding. But anyway, how about that album art? There's not much to say.
That's okay.
It's kind of a pinkish purple background and Olivia Dean all smiley and blurry.
How do you feel about the shade of purple and pink?
I think it's a great shade of purple and pink. I think it is really good. Again, Valentine's Day vibes. I don't definitively want to say whether it's purple or pink either. I don't want to start a riot.
I'm very interested in the way it's been like out of focus.
Yeah, it definitely seems digitally blurred, right?
Yeah, and like from the right? It's like right justified because the left earring
Seems stationary and in focus.
Yeah, right. It's in focus. So like the focus point is like the earring, and then everything else is blurred around. Like the center point of the focus is the earring, which is really weird.
Yeah, and it does seem like as you move from like left to right across her face, she gets blurrier.
Yeah, and that's because I think the center of the focus is on the ring. So the farther away from the ring you get, the earring. I don't know why I'm struggling with that word there.
That's fine. It's just a ring for the ear.
Yeah, it's true. The farther you get away from the earring, the blurrier it gets, but there's not that much room to go to the left. So it looks worse on the right because there's just more distance that you can actually see.
Yeah, it might not be digitally blurred though. I mean, she really just might be in motion.
There's no way the earring would be that in focus without some digital touch up, right?
I have no idea.
Like, because the earring would be in motion too if she was in motion, so you wouldn't think it would be in focus. I don't know.
Maybe it hasn't become in motion yet. Maybe it's right as she starts to run to her left, our right.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Also, what's in her mouth?
Great question.
Is that her? Does she have a fake tooth? What's going on there?
I don't know. It seems to be a glint in her teeth. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's a tooth ring.
Oh.
Well, we've got a lovely dozen tracks to talk about here, and up first, the unidentified flying object, UFO. They don't call them UFOs anymore. Did you know that?
No, I was just about to say she needs to rename this song to UAP.
Yeah, we did talk about that in Blink 182. We just did that with Tom DeLonge and his aliens. Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah, well...
Phenomena, please.
Well, one of them is just a phenomenon.
Phenomena.
That's several of them.
Is what it is, though.
Yeah, but this is just one unidentified flying object. So it's one unidentified aerial phenomenon.
I'm just telling you what the P in UAP is phenomena. It is inherently, I think, a plural.
Unless you're only talking about one.
But if you say UAP, it is a phenomenon.
No, there can't be a phenomenon.
Because that's what it stands for.
It's a phenomenon. If you only witness one, the P can be both. But if you only witness one, it's a phenomenon.
Nope.
Yeah.
The P stands for phenomena.
It's like when people refer to themselves as an alumni. It's not right. Alumnus.
If you say UAP, you are saying unidentified aerial phenomena.
No, if you're talking about more than one.
That's all I'm saying. That is not how the acronym has been released to the general public.
Yes, it is. Well, then how would you talk about one?
If you're referring to one, you should not say an unidentified aerial phenomenon.
That's more than one.
Don't use I said phenomenon there. Thank you very much.
Okay, I cut you off before you finished this. But
say the full thing out. You're not allowed to use the acronym. In the official releasing, when you look up what a UAP stands for, it says the P stands for phenomena. So if you're using it in acronym form, you're using the plural.
Look, it's on the Wikipedia. An unidentified flying object, UFO, or an unidentified, anomalous phenomenon.
There you go. Told you.
No, phenomenon. We've been doing the middle word wrong.
What?
Anomalous phenomenon.
That's on the Wikipedia. Show me the Wikipedia page. I don't trust that.
It's right here on the UFO wiki.
I don't trust the UFO wiki. I trust the official government release.
Would you rather have the U.S. Department of Defense that says unidentified anomalous phenomena? Anomalous is the middle word.
I disagree with that.
Okay, take it up with defense.gov. Anyway, the song has nothing to do with any of that. Olivia Dean said the song UFO was born out of a conversation over a cup of tea with Matt Hales, who was her co-writer and co-producer. She said, "We were joking about how love is a sexy problem to have, and I thought it would be funny to try and put it into a song. I wanted it to feel intimate and existential, so we kept it simple with a guitar and a vocoder. It's a shy love song, thoughts I would normally keep to myself, but I'm learning to share." So she compares falling in love to trying to fly a UFO. It's strange, it's foreign, it's unfamiliar. She's forgotten all the controls, so she's just trying to figure out how the heck to get this thing off the ground and where she wants to go. It's kind of a cool metaphor. What do you think?
Yeah, it's an okay metaphor.
Yeah. What about the sound? The guitar and vocoder combo. The vocoder's kind of a rare one. We don't hear a lot of that.
Yeah, it's not what I expected when I hit play.
No, and thankfully it's not what you get for the rest of the album mostly.
But it's interesting.
It's kind of just like Microphone was on Fish in a Birdcage, kind of a pull back the curtain track that's on its own from the rest of the album in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There's just some good stuff here. What are your plans? I'll share your socks. Questionable. Sharing socks is an interesting thing, but she says, "I can't hold your hand with my fingers crossed. Like, until I learn to actually let go of that fear and that anxiety and learn to fly this thing, I'm not going to be able to be as close to you as I want to be." It's so cool. It's a short little song, but it's a pretty good opener.
Why would they say anonymous?
They don't.
What do they say?
Anomalous.
What's that? What does anomalous even mean?
It's an anomaly. It's not usual.
Yeah, right? So, I don't like it.
Well, we can circle back to that at a later point.
Does that mean it can be used for I guess that just means it can be used for non-flying things.
Yeah, non-aerial. Yeah, if you go anomalous.
But that just feels worse, right? Like, you've taken something that was clearly defined.
An unidentified flying object.
Right? UFO, as tropey as the word had become.
Well, but they weren't always objects.
What is an object?
But sometimes it wasn't a flying object. Sometimes it was the Northern Lights that they misinterpreted, or you know what I mean? Something like that.
But an object is just something that can be perceived by the senses, right? I can perceive the Northern Lights.
Sure. Well, then in that case, it wasn't flying.
Well, right. So I would agree. But UFO is a very specific term, right? They're like, we are going to brand things that we can't identify that we see flying through the sky, right? or what appeared to at least be flying through the sky. It's unidentified, so maybe once we identify it, we discover it wasn't actually flying.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It's not unidentified at that point, so it's no longer a UFO. But at the time, it appeared to be flying through the sky. And then we said, now we're going to just give that a more blanketed term that covers way more things, making it way less useful of a term from like an actual identification standpoint. It's a broader term, so you can classify more things as it.
Yeah.
But it's less specific, which I don't know how I feel about. Unidentified aerial phenomena at least still keeps it aerial specific.
Yeah, right. Anyway, that's the song.
Anyway.
Next. One of the centerpiece kind of tracks of this album, and one of the first ones that I was drawn to.
Centerpiece on track 2. Not very centered.
Well, yeah, it's not very centered, but she balances it out with a later, slightly more centered centerpiece. But we'll get there.
The average of the two centerpieces are
It's
the
pretty
center.
close to the middle. Yeah.
It's closer. It's still.
Yeah, but Dive is up next.
We're diving into this album.
Yeah, we are. Head first.
Would have made a better start track, title-wise.
Yeah, but this is a lot to start off on. You gotta, like, whet the appetite a little bit.
I don't know. It has a pretty cool vibe. I could see starting out with it, but I don't mind that they start with UFO.
True. Dive opens with this really cool, like, piano flourish on a, like, diminished chord, and, it just sounds so good. And then we get into this. It's a higher energy, like a piano soul ballad. Good stuff. Olivia says that Dive is just one of those honest songs. It's really pure and from the heart, and I think people like to fall in love, even if they say they don't. She said, I went through a phase of writing a lot of quite sad breakup music, and I was like, I want to write something light. I was falling in love, which is crazy, but a nice feeling, and it's just really changed my mindset, and I think I'm happier because of it. So that's the mindset she came into Dive with. I think the chord progression in Dive is really fun. It kind of lends itself to a really sing-alongable melody. And there's some piano flourishes that she does in the background. The drum beat's great. The extra instrumentation, there's brass instruments in there that are great.
I don't know why, but the instrumentation for this one kind of gave me rom-com spy film vibes.
Rom-com spy film?
Yeah, well, like the majority of the song, like the middle section of the song, once it really gets into its groove, doesn't really fit the spy theme. But that beginning, the way that instrumentation does its little swirl.
Yeah, it's a little flourish.
And the way she first comes in with that slide into the note. I don't know. It gives me kind of Skyfall themes.
Oh.
From Adele's James Bond theme.
I see.
Which makes me think spy. But then you hit like the rest of the song and it makes me think kind of like a rom-com-y song.
Definitely feels like it could be in a rom-com. That's true.
So therefore, how do we blend the two together? A rom-com about spies.
Maybe. Perhaps.
A rye spy.
Ew. I don't like it. The opening verse is really cool. That first lyric is such a good one. One of the strongest in the whole song, and it was done very intentionally. Right? She opens with, "It isn't working. I'm a tidal wave of question marks, and you're just surfing." She said, "I always want to make sure the first lyric I say is poignant and has something quirky about it." And she said, "These lyrics are my favorite lyrics I've ever written. I love the imagery of this person being on this tsunami of certainty. We're in love. This is the real thing. I feel it, and you feel it too." And I'm like, I don't know if I know what love is. I don't know what it looks like anymore. I just feel so jaded, and they are surfing. There's kind of this cool juxtaposition of these two characters in the relationship. One is really certain. The other one is really not. But the whole trick is that she's ready to dive because the water's warm and nothing's wrong. And dive is such an interesting metaphor.
Yeah.
Like a dive.
Well, that's two interesting metaphors in a row for you.
I know, but like when you dive, you're not just swimming. You're not just dipping a toe in the water.
You're kind of a UAP.
Yeah,
Flying through the air.
for a minute.
If somebody's like, oh, what's going on over there? Like, doesn't realize it's you on a dive board. Yeah, you'd be a UAP.
Yeah, well, the dive starts with a leap of faith, and then you enter the water very suddenly. You, like, dive very deep into the water.
I guess even once you're in the water, you're still a UAP since it's anomalous now.
Yeah, true. But if everyone's diving, you're not very anomalous. Anyway, I like the contrast, like diving is such a specific image instead of just swimming, which she does also talk about, swimming good and swimming deep. But the way you got to do it is take that step off the high dive.
You got to take the plunge.
Get the butterflies in your stomach. Yeah. Have you ever high dived?
Yeah.
Good for you. How high?
How high's the standard diving board?
No idea.
I've done like some pools have the normal diving board and then they have the higher up diving board so you can get extra like flips and stuff.
Yeah.
Been on that. That's about as high as I've actually been. I've not really been on a true high dive.
That makes sense.
Or have I? I know I do vaguely have a memory of at least being near a high dive. I don't remember if I went on it, but I know my dad did.
So you've been near a high dive. That's cool.
I can't quite recall if I was young, so I don't remember. I might not have been allowed. Might have been too young to use the high dive.
Oh.
But I remember wanting to.
Yeah, that makes sense. There is an acoustic version of Dive out there that is so good. I almost like it better than this full band version.
Wow.
It's slower, it's a little less spy rom-com, I guess, and a little more like casual, not com, just rom, short for romantic. Well, I really love Dive, but what did you think of Ladies' Room?
I've never been in one.
Well, you've never been in one, just like you've never been on a high dive, but you've listened to Dive, and now you've listened to Ladies' Room.
But I've wanted to.
Wait, well... Gosh.
I hear they're magical places with couches and flowers. And...
Yeah, right? I've heard ladies' rooms are so cool.
Yeah. But I've also heard from some ladies that they're actually worse than men's room.
I have heard that too.
So I don't know which to believe.
Well, I think if we're judging this song based on that standard, worse than a men's room or super cool with the couch, I think this song is super cool with the couch.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I agree.
Yeah, listen to it. It's got such a nice funk, a nice groove. Like, this is like British neo-soul at its finest.
I like my couches to be funky.
Yeah.
I do like Ladies' Room, actually, a lot.
I know. Oh, it's so fun.
It's fun.
There's some good harmony in this.
It's pretty fun.
Like, she layers her vocal in a good way.
I like the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do going on in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just got one of the best grooves on the whole album, Ladies' Room does. And it's funny because Ladies' Room is like a pun. She never talks about like, oh, being in the ladies' room. It's not about a ladies' room, but she talks about I need some space. Like, she's a lady that needs room. She needs room.
Like, ladies, room, please.
Yeah, exactly. Because someone's overstepping, and it's way less about her and way more about him. Loves being in your space. Sometimes she needs some room. I just like the way she plays with repeating words and syllables, too. She repeats and a few times in there. Not going, not going. Like, there's a few parts where we just kind of get into a little word repetition flow. And I think it suits the groove really well. It honestly reminded me a little bit of like what Earth, Wind, and Fire did, right? With Body Ya and never letting a lyric get in the way of the groove.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay to repeat something if you want to keep the flow.
Yep. Body Ya.
Love it.
Yeah. Don't let the words get in the way.
No, man. Get it? Because the next song is called No Man.
Well, I just assumed that was the sign posted outside the ladies' room.
Oh, ladies' room. No Man.
No man.
Sure. No Man is an interesting song. It doesn't have the same kind of groove.
I mean, there's like the little water droplets at the beginning, like maybe somebody left the sink handle just a little bit up.
Dripping a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a grittier song. Now,
It is gritty.
if we're talking about songs that make us think of like spy movies, No Man kind of makes me think of a spy movie song.
Yeah, I have that down. I said, man, this is like two spy songs
Yeah.
in one album.
Yeah, this one's got a nice string part behind it.
She just has that voice that gives me Skyfall. Like the way she holds some of her notes and that register she's in.
Yeah, there's a vibrato.
I just get a lot of Skyfall vibes from Olivia Dean.
Yes, she's got a really smooth voice, a really rich, like middle range, and a good vibrato. Ah,
Yeah, and she's from London, which
which is where James Bond is from.
well, I was going to say also Adele's British, so
Well, she is.
maybe that also is part of it. Two British singers that have a similar range and vibrato.
That's true. This is a little Adele-ish, isn't it? No Man really kind of takes me back to 21.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a good. This is one of those patent like breakup songs that she was writing a lot of, and a lot of these songs on this album are songs about how love is hard and breaking up hurts and stuff. But this is one of them. Like every time I think we're somewhere close to conversation, you'd rather be alone and let me love a stranger with your name. Like there's this emotional distance. Why can't you be better for me? How come I've been seen? Right? How come I'm giving all of myself to you when all I see is nothing? No hands, no man for me. Oof. It's cool. Like she's in this relationship with somebody who's just not giving it his all or putting on a front, a facade. He's no man that she recognizes.
No, man.
It's a nice, what was the word that we used?
Right Spy?
No, gosh.
No.
No Man is a really nice rich moment in the middle of the album. And then we get to Dangerously Easy. Straight up piano ballad guy.
I prefer my songs harmlessly difficult.
Of course. Well, I figured this would be one that you might prefer a little more. It's a piano ballad, one piano, one voice, for the first part of it anyway.
What, you think you know me?
Totally. I like the way this song grows. We add in like a wah pedal on a guitar, a full drum kit. Like we really just expand from this little piano ballad. It's dangerously easy to let this song grow on you.
Yeah, it's one that pulls you in.
Yeah, it does, right from the first lyric, because to start a song with Old Flame, it's intriguing. Like, oh, this is somebody that you used to love, that you've known very well, and it's like faded out, it's gone. And now she's like encountering him again, asking these questions like, how did you find your way? What happened to you since our love kind of got snuffed out? This happiness suits you. There's a job you don't hate. You're out here hanging out with your friends and having fun. There's a new face smiling in my place. It's almost like a song of lament. She's happy for this person, but there's this like, man, what might have been kind of energy to it.
It's like, how old is Olivia Dean?
She was born on March 14th or 14th of March, 1999. That would make her 20, depending on when this episode comes out. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. So it's still 25.
25-year-old Adele.
Yeah.
You know, not to make her just seem like derivative of Adele, because she's not, but
No, but it's a very good point of comparison.
yeah.
After we do Dangerously Easy, which is just a, man, tugs at the heartstrings, Old Flame.
Whoa, hang on. Before we get to the danger, that's dangerously easy. We're getting to that. We're getting there.
All right. Yeah, right.
But first we have an interlude.
Yeah, she sticks getting there. This little interlude in the middle of the album. This is its technical centerpiece.
I like the beat of this.
Yeah, right? I don't know how she came about getting there. I like to imagine, like in my head, when you have an interlude like this that is so kind of catchy and good, I feel like it's because you like it so much but couldn't work it into a proper full song. Like for whatever reason, whether, you know, the inspiration didn't strike or you felt like it was enough.
Yeah, I just want it to be a full song.
I know. A minute and 46 seconds is like, oh.
I mean, a minute 46 seconds is almost full song length. I mean, we've had shorter songs.
Yeah, well, but there's not a lot of lyrical content.
We've had plenty of songs with no lyrics.
That's true. It's built all around like these vocal parts, whether they're chanting rhythmically or kind of floating above this soundscape kind of thing.
Yeah. And then she gets funky.
Yeah, right? That soul groove starts to come back out at the end of the song, and then it kind of softly just fades away into the quiet. And it makes me miss it. It leaves me wanting more, which is good because it's an interlude, and you are immediately about to get more with Danger. Danger's another one that just grabs your attention right from the start. It almost, to me, with the way that they've produced her vocals and the way that it just kind of is structured and composed, it kind of sounds like a 1940s radio broadcast of sorts. It sounds like a lo-fi transmission of a jazzy pop song at the beginning. Almost like elevator music. And then once the verse kicks in, everything starts rolling. And it's a song about how dangerous. I mean, Dangerously Easy was about, making moving on look dangerously easy. But Danger is a song about actually being in love and the danger that comes with that. Oh man, I'm in danger with your love. I don't see us saying goodbye. Suddenly, I'd rather be with you than anyone. Like, I'm really in danger of falling for you hard, but I want your love to be mine. It's a nice little twist because it's not really dangerous. It's exciting and new and fun and kind of the same stuff that happens in Dive, just expressed through a very different lens.
Danger's okay for me. It was a middle of the album track for me.
Well, it's literally a middle of the album track.
Yeah, I just mean like in terms of rankings.
Do you think that's because it's kind of repetitive?
A little, definitely a little. And also I just think it's not offering that much. It's not nearly as interesting or unique a metaphor as like Dive or Ladies' Room or something like that, right? It's just kind of her going, danger.
Yeah, it's definitely a more literal face value kind of song.
Yeah, which is fine. Not every song can be something special. If everything's special, nothing is.
Sure. Danger, it's a good way to bring us out of the interlude, but I really do feel like it's a wind up for the album's other centerpiece of a song, The Hardest Part. She had previously released The Hardest Part. It's on some of her earlier EPs. But this is absolutely a breakup song. In the same way that Dive is a centerpiece that's on the positive side of a relationship, The Hardest Part is a centerpiece song that's on the breakup side of a relationship.
I have heard this song before.
You've heard this?
Yeah, don't ask me where, but I put it on and I was like, oh, I know this.
Really? It could be from anywhere.
Yeah, I wasn't able to place it. I tried. Was this song like up for any awards that like at one of the Grammys we were listening to? I would have heard a snippet of it played. No,
but let's see. The Hardest Part has been in season 5, episode 1 of The Lost One.
That's not it.
Well, I don't know what I don't know what else to tell you. That's where it's been. Other of her songs have been on like Love Island UK quite a few times.
Yeah, don't know. Just they put it on, and as soon as it hit the 30-second mark where it really hits I guess more the 40-second mark where she gets into that chorus.
Yeah, even if I wouldn't go back where we started.
Yeah, I recognize that.
Interesting. Well, I love this song. Oh man, it's all about how people grow and change over time. That's exactly what the chorus says. Even if I could, I wouldn't go back to where we started. You're wondering where my heart is, and
Yeah, us both growing is a good thing.
Yes.
But the scary thing is, are we growing into two different people?
yeah, growing apart over time. Lately, I've been growing into someone you don't know.
Yeah.
You're realizing maybe I ain't the same, and what you're waiting for ain't there no more anyway.
Yeah, but this isn't me wishing I was still the same person that you love. I'm just hoping you learn to love the new me.
Yeah, or even if you don't love the new me, then it's a thing I have to be okay with because I'm not going back to the way that I used to be.
Yeah. But they said the scariest part, so it's like they want you to learn to love the new them, but
Oh, definitely.
or the hardest part, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be a hard realization to come to. Somebody that you've been close to for a long time just isn't the person that you thought they were or that they had been in the past. And that happens. You know, people grow together.
People grow together, people grow apart, people grow, I guess, apart and together are kind of the main options.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not really a third option.
No. But yeah, no, I just love the way this one's sung. I love the rhythm of that chorus. Even if I could, would, didn't go back, like there's a little punch to it, little staccato kind of jab of each of those syllables. And that's what really sells me on it. It's a fairly huge song. I mean, Dive is bigger by the Spotify play numbers with 87 million, but it's got 78.9 million over here on the hardest part. So pretty strong. Well, up next, we can put that red thumb to the test that the Mixtaper lied about. I Could Be a Florist.
Yeah, red thumb. That was a spin, though, so...
So she really could be a florist, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe she has a green thumb. And
That's right. Yeah, I really like this song. It's nice. I can wrap you up real safe. I give you flowers at the end of every day for the center of your table or your rainbow. Ooh.
it's a pretty cool song. I like it.
Yeah, it's simple. I don't think there's too much to it. You know, there's not really a chorus. It's just kind of a verse situation. But it sounds good. It's a nice way to spend a minute and 21 seconds shorter than the interlude.
Yeah, right. It's, I think, one of my favorite song topics.
Really? Flowers?
Yeah, well, just not like in general. I just mean like on this album, like all the different ways she kind of does these different love songs.
Yeah, to bring beauty into somebody's life is...
I think I Could Be a Florist is one of my favorite hooks.
Yeah, it makes you think.
It's a cool idea for a song.
Yeah, she can provide that little something missing. Bring a little bit of beauty into a drab day with the flowers, the metaphorical flowers that she can bring into your life. I'm open every day.
Yeah, but metaphorical flowers, like real flowers, can wither and die.
Ooh, that is the hardest part.
You know, it's dangerously easy.
There's danger. It's dangerously easy to let your flowers wither up and die. The hardest part is when the petals fall off. It can get
It's
little
real messy. Oh, amazing.
Goodness. Yeah, Messy is up next. A little title track action.
A song about the soccer star or football.
No, not Leo.
Oh. What's the song about? Because I completely misread those lyrics, misinterpreted those.
Yeah, trying to make the shapes you're dying to see, just like Leo Messi is with his soccer kicks. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, this song is all about how relationships get messy sometimes.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, I mean, that's good. But she's a little bit of a mess. You know, she's trying to make the shapes that fit what this partner needs.
Mood.
She's on his side, but it's a little bit messy. She's a little bit messy. Just like this cover photo for Messy is a little bit blurry. She's just a little bit, she's trying, she's close. I like the sound of Messy. It's not a particularly memorable one.
Okay, Messy got ruined for me, and I'm worried I'm going to ruin it for you when I say this.
Okay.
At the 1 minute mark, when the little hums came in.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Those?
Yeah, the little background vocal kind of hums.
When those first came in, the little background hums, the tone, the pitch, just everything about them, and even kind of the sound made me think it was being made by an automaton.
Wow. You know, I didn't think about that. The first thing that my mind went to when I heard that, and it still kind of does, is AJR and their like instramorphing style.
Sure.
Where they produce their vocals like that. But you're right, it does a little bit sound like an automaton.
It sounds like an automaton. And so then the whole time that I'm listening to the song, anytime I just thinking that the entire time the song was going.
It's going to happen to me now too. The automaton, it's that little thing, it is a toy that's shaped like a musical note. And depending on where you press on the neck, the stem of the note, and open the mouth, it kind of makes like a little wah noise.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it does sound a lot like that little thing. And it makes the serious song, the serious, beautiful title track, so deeply unserious.
I know. As I said, it was ruined. It was ruined.
Yeah.
I'm cursed with a brain like this.
Well, you might be cursed with a brain like that, but at the end of the day, everybody's crazy.
Very nice.
Thank you. Everybody's crazy.
Not me, though. I'm the least crazy guy you'll ever meet.
That's concerning. Everybody's Crazy, I think, has one of the strongest lyrical first verses on this album. I'm not as strong as I appear, way more anxious than I seem. What kind of person would I be if I didn't hide this part of me? Ooh, like that feeling that you can't be yourself because you're too nervous and too anxious to let that show.
There's another one. I feel like we're fizzling out a little bit towards the end of the album.
I would say Florist, Messy, Everybody's Crazy is a little bit of a dip for me. Just a little.
I like Florist, but Messy and Everybody's Crazy definitely are dips.
Perhaps. I think that's fair, but they're just very different styles of song than the first part of this album.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of my all-time favorites, though, I think probably underappreciated on this album, I just love it so much, is the closer, Carmen. It's an incredible song. It's a tribute to her grandma, an immigrant who was part of what's known as the Windrush generation, who were a bunch of Caribbean citizens who emigrated to the UK. So in this song, she kind of tells her grandma's story and kind of honors her and her legacy and how her grandma has affected her own life. She said, "Carmen's a love letter to my granny and an ode to the Windrush generation. I wanted to write a song of celebration that encapsulated the beautiful cross-culture that was created by the Caribbean community in the UK. Steel pan is such a powerful and emotional instrument for me, so having that feature throughout the song makes it extra special. I'm a product of her bravery, and I want her to be remembered forever." So that's all the stuff she kind of weaves into Carmen. The steel drums are incredible. It's so unique. It's so actually fitting for the song. It blends into her existing, established style really, really well. And lyrically, oh my gosh. You transplanted a family tree, and a part of it grew into me.
Yeah, maybe Carmen will grow on me, but I think it was underappreciated by me, apparently, because it kind of fizzled out a little bit.
Wow. No, I absolutely love it. The only place I want to stand holding on to grandma's hands. Let them adore you, Carmen. I will. Yeah, no, I like it a lot. It's a little bit repetitive, I'll give you, but it's again, we're back into the groove. I could listen to this song forever. I think I could put this one on repeat and just exist in that outro part of Carmen for a long time. Give me that last chorus, the last 2.5 minutes of the song. I could just stay right there. I thought you'd be all in on the steel drums. I figured that would really sell you on it.
Okay, so I was just getting ready to say that I was a fan of the steel drums. But I don't know, I think it was the repetitiveness of just Carmen, 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 Carmen.
Well, that's fair.
Carmen. I will. Carmen, Carmen, Carmen.
Yeah.
Like I said, it might grow on me.
You wouldn't be saying that if she wrote this song about Connor.
Well, of course not. That's a great name.
I'm telling Carmen you said that.
Please do. Yeah, of the men's, I prefer No Man to Carmen.
Of the songs about men, No Man is better than Carmen.
Yeah, I'm more of a truck guy than a car man.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Oh, man. On that horrible joke. It's time for Final Spin.
Yeah, let's wrap it up before it gets any worse. Final Spin. The Doof Doof and Hoons were Carmen.
Yeah.
Well, boy, we made it to the final spin portion of a Valentine's Day special. I think this album is a ton of fun. It was so great to discover. And after listening, again, one song was all it took for me to get hooked on Olivia Dean. I had to come find her and listen to her album. And then once I listened to this album, I had to go listen to all her old EPs. Lots of gold. Lots of good stuff in there. Musically, this neo-soul style is fascinating. I love the way that she kind of seamlessly transitions between groovy, upbeat, funky kind of songs, and then soft ballads like Danger or Messy or Everybody's Crazy. And then we even get neat moments of experimentation like Getting There or UFO. There's a really healthy blend of musical styles on Messy, and I love it. Give it music an 88. Give it an 86 to the lyrics. There's some good metaphors in here, some fun ones. And although, some of the songs are more straightforward, and we do kind of take a little bit of a dip in songs without choruses sometimes, not a problem. Again, I love a song without a chorus if it's done right, but just a few moments. Everybody's Crazy. I Want to Share Your Socks. Little things. Giving lyrics an 86. Still so strong. Instruments and production, I'm giving a 92. Just from the piano flourish on Dive to the brass instruments kind of scattered throughout, the string arrangements, the drums on everything are so good. The steel drum on Carmen. This album feels really cohesive in its production. The way that it sounds like elevator music in Danger. I just like a lot of it. So I'm giving instruments and production a 92. Overall vibe, 90. I like that this is an album about heavy, personal, emotional topics that fluctuates back and forth between happy and sad so seamlessly that you don't get burdened by either one. You don't get burnt out by being too happy. You don't get bogged down by being too sad. And just the flow from one end of that spectrum to the other, sometimes both within the same song on something like Dangerously Easy. That is awesome. 90 for the overall vibe. That gives Messy a final score of 89.2, ranking it at number 133. That puts it above Red by Taylor Swift. That puts it below Ellington Uptown by Duke Ellington. So that's where Olivia Dean lands for me. 133.
Wow.
I liked Messy a lot. I was really impressed by it. And I cannot wait to hear whatever kind of project she's cooking up next.
I wish someday I could impress you that much.
You're getting there.
Dang.
You had an album crack my top 100. You can't even say that anymore.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that. That album did that.
Oh, you specifically want to impress me at an 89.2?
Yeah.
How do you know you haven't? I don't rank you.
I'd take a B.
What would you do with it? Make it make honey for you?
I just don't think I've ever done anything worthy of an A from you.
Wow.
Such a harsh grader.
You've never heard me grade you.
Yeah, but my subconscious that pretends to be you, it's a harsh grader.
Oh, your version of me is critical of you?
Yeah, my version of you is yeah.
Well, I can't help that.
Yeah, that's what my version of you says too.
Well, then your version of me might be pretty good. I don't know.
Dang. Are you done? Is it my turn yet?
It's your turn, absolutely.
I'm going to start with my top 3 this week.
Okay. We got 12 songs. You get like a quarter of this album. Really a third of it with the honorable mention.
We're going to go with starting off with Dive.
I'm ready to dive. Maybe it's the lovin' in your dive.
And then I'm going where I'm not allowed.
Whoa.
The ladies' room.
It's a good pick.
Yeah. And then, of course, the hardest part about picking my top 3 this week was not picking the hardest part. That was an easy choice.
Wait, you didn't pick the hardest part?
The hardest part was not picking the hardest part.
Oh, okay. So
I did pick it.
what a confusing.
But it was an easy decision. It wasn't the hardest part.
The hardest part was not pick. I thought you meant it was hard to choose not to take the hardest part.
Oh, no.
Right, so you're taking the hardest part.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is why I don't get an A.
Maybe not on this one.
And then my honorable mention Could Be a Florist.
So could Olivia Dean.
Wow, they have so much in common.
Your honorable mention and I Could Be a Florist. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting top 3.
Yeah, that's my top 3.
It pretty closely matches mine. I would swap out Florist.
Yeah, considering you said it was part of a slump. I just really liked it. It was fun.
Yeah.
As for my score, this one, didn't stand out to me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
You called her a 25-year-old Adele.
Yeah, I like that. It's just this album, it didn't speak to me.
Oh.
Olivia Dean spoke to me. She sang to me.
She did, for like 40 minutes.
She serenaded me. But this album, it didn't sing.
Huh.
And so this one's I think this one's getting a 6.
Oh, wow.
I'm just looking at what's at the bottom of my 7s, and I like those better than this.
Oh, Count Basie's down there. That is, yeah.
My 7s and up are pretty packed.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you got things like our most popular episode ever, Hank Williams' Greatest Hits. You got Pink Floyd in the 7s, Fall Out Boy in the 7s.
Machine Gun Kelly in the 7s.
Yeah, up in the 8s, you got classics like George Strait, Wham, Motley Crue, Reba. In my 9s, you got things like Dr. Demento.
Yeah, okay. And Adele up in your 9s. Not for nothing.
Adele's up in the 9s. Yeah. So what is a backwards or an upside down 9? A 6.
A backwards 9 is like nothing. It's like a messed up G.
It's like a P or yeah.
Anyway, but an upside down 9 would be a 6. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm giving this one 6 no truck guy bathroom signs.
6 what?
It's been a while since I had a really convoluted weird unit.
6 no truck guy.
No truck guy bathroom signs.
Right, because you wanted to talk about ladies' room and no man and Carmen all in one.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll just be a really fun one a year from now when we're doing the holiday episode and I have to remember what my units are.
Yeah, and you go, why did I pick this? That unit is a UAP. But the U stands for unit.
Yeah.
Wild. Well, where in your 6s is it going to go?
Oh, yeah, I gotta do that, don't I?
Yeah, it can still make a strong showing here.
It is gonna make a strong showing, I think. I think it's gonna go right above Rascal Flatts.
There you go. Right above Rascal Flatts and right below AC/DC. Back in Black. Sweet. What do you want to put on the playlist?
That's what I was sitting here thinking about when you reminded me I had to place it in the 6s.
Uh-huh.
I think I want Dive on there.
You want Dive? Good choice. I knew Dive would be on our playlist.
I kind of want to just take Dive in the hardest part. I know they're the two most popular, but there's a reason they're the two most popular.
They're pretty great. I definitely am leaning that way.
I almost took hardest part instead of Dive, but I thought I kind of liked I was all in on the spy stuff for Dive, so.
Yeah. If I didn't take the hardest part, I would take Ladies' Room or Carmen. But you didn't like Carmen, so I'd be down to the hardest part or Ladies' Room.
I mean, both of which were in my top 3.
I think I'll take Ladies' Room since it's not the second most popular song on the album.
You just wanted to take the track right after mine so that
No.
we had back-to-back tracks.
No. I like Ladies' Room. It's got a unique energy to it.
Yeah, I know what you were doing. You don't have to justify it.
And it's got a cool horn part. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's one I'd want to be reminded of more often than the hardest part.
Fair enough. It's your pick. Do what you want with it.
That's right. And I did. Hey, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for spending some part of your Valentine's Day or before or after Valentine's Day or whenever you listen to this episode with us here to hear us talk about Valentine's Day and Olivia Dean and Messi. Hope you had fun. I know we did.
Every day is Valentine's Day when you love yourself.
Oh, yeah, darn right. We will see you wherever you get your podcasts, but you can also find us at Spin It Pod Official on Instagram and at Spin It Pod on X. Mm-hmm. You can find us on our website, www.spinitpod.com, for all your Spin It Pod needs. All the good stuff.
While you're looking for us, go ahead and also help spread the word about us to your friends.
Yeah. Which friends?
This week, go ahead and tell a friend who you'd plant a Valentine bush with.
Oh, like a florist. Yeah, with your red thumbs.
Yeah. Yeah, tell someone with a red thumb about the podcast this week, please.
Love it. That's beautiful. We'll see you next week for a Chris-themed round of Factor Spin, among other things. And until then, keep spinning! Did you ever figure out who shot you with that arrow?
I still think it was this baby.
That baby's still hanging around, just shot you with an arrow and watched you record a whole podcast?
Yeah, well, you see, it came back to the scene of the crime, as a criminal does, they say.
Oh, yeah.
But he looks different. It's in a different stroller and has a different parent, so maybe it's just a different baby.
Do you think the baby shot anyone else?
But I know.
Think you're going to fall in love with anyone this Valentine's Day?
No, just myself.
Well, every day is Valentine's Day when you love yourself, so I've been told.
Yeah, that baby was trying to help me love myself, maybe earn an A.
Maybe, yeah, if you love yourself, maybe your version of me will love you too.
I wish the baby would shoot my version of you.
Ouch.
Not with an arrow or anything, just like shoot you.
Oh, not with an arrow, with a gun. Cupid, but with a gun.